So a couple of the top marketplaces are real estate, believe it or not, because real estate, one of the advantages with real estate is because there's so much that's out there, and more people are aware of it. And the great thing about real estate is the customers are starting to get wise on it. Like there are some brokers or some agents that don't do aerial, and they go to a listing appointment to try and get this, $2.7 million house. And then the homeowner says, hey, are you going to do drone stuff? And they're like, absolutely, we're going to do that. And they've never done it. They don't know. And you went in their office a week or two ago or a month ago, and they're calling you up saying, hey, can you do that? You still doing the drone stuff? Can you do that for me? And now all of a sudden their clients are pushing them to do it. So there's a lot of opportunity there. Also business photography and commercial videography. These are the three kind of low-hanging fruit, easiest ones to go after, where you don't need a lot of skill, you don't need a lot of equipment, and there is a lot of demand for it. And we're going to go through on Saturday and make sure you guys understand how to do this, and there are no questions asked about going out and implementing this. Now, there are other opportunities, like with hotels and resorts. This is a massive opportunity. This is more intermediate, but these are rising opportunities that are there. Also inspections, this is another one. It's huge. And think about inspections for power lines and cell towers and wind farms and solar farms and bridges and dams and buildings. And there's so much stuff that can be done. But again, this gets to be an intermediate or advanced business model, depending on what where you are with it. Also golf course maintenance, and again, because this is just a little bit more advanced and there's more moving pieces involved in it, but lots of opportunity there. And then, all kinds of commercial inspections. And the cool thing, like with golf courses, is we can fly over golf courses, and with AI, it will tell us what are the problem areas, which are the ones we need to address first, second, third, fourth, fifth, where there are issues with this stuff. Also, we can see things that you can't see with the naked eye, like on this green. Like here, with an RGB image or a color image, it looks fine. But over here with the NDVI image, we see, oh, look, there's a disease, or there's an infection, or there's something going on there. We can alert them about it, and they can go out there and do a soil sample and then treat it and get ahead of the curve. And the cool thing is, it's real world value. We save the average golf course somewhere between 12 million and 15 million gallons of wasted water every year, because they just overwater everything. And we save them somewhere around $200,000 in wasted fertilizer, because they're just over fertilizing everywhere. And then that runs off into, with all the extra water, and goes into the community and all this stuff. So now they can be more eco-friendly, save them real money, save them, real waste, as far as water and stuff, and get better grounds, and that are more durable, healthier, and all that stuff. There's tons of benefits. So let's take a look at this. Let me ask you this, and be honest with me, please. How many of you think that you could generate $100,000 a year right now, this year, with a drone? And be honest. If you don't think it's the case, then that's cool too. Raise your hand if you think you can. So got a couple of you guys. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Let's go through and look at the numbers. All right. And I want you to pull out your calculator. And I want you to, let's just take a look at real estate. Okay, so real estate, let's just say you're going to charge $299 for a basic photo shoot package. Now this is going to be your aerial images and your ground images inside and outside the house. So if you're charging $299 for a photo shoot, and you did 2 of these a day, that's going to be $598 per day. What if you did that 5 days a week? Took the weekend off, and you're working 5 days a week. So do the math. Tell me what that is. Throw that in the chat. If you did this 5 days a week, what does that come out to? Yeah, you guys are on it. $2,990. Okay, so if you did that for 50 weeks, so this number times 50 weeks, because you got to take 2 weeks to go on an Alaskan cruise, or go scuba diving with Diego, or do something cool, go shooting with me or something. Yep, you guys have got it. Let's see who was the first one there. Timothy, fast on the calculator, 149,000. And if you did 3 of these a day, you're looking at over 200,000. And if you did 4 of these a day, you're just doubling this number. If you did 4 of these a day, you're looking at almost $300,000 doing 4 a day. And you know what, guys? We have people that are in our network that are doing 8, 10, 12 of these every single day. You do the math. Now, I want to know, and throw it in the chat, how many of these are you willing to do a day? And I'll just tell you, in the beginning, it's going to take you about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to do each one of these. So if you're doing 4 a day, that's going to take you 4 to 6 hours probably initially. Once you get good at it, it'll be more like 20 or 30 minutes, but you know, first time you do anything, you're not as good at it. Now, that's just photos, right? Not video. So let's look at video. Same thing with real estate. We have a video that probably most people sell the most of. We call it a hybrid video. And this is essentially taking all of the HDR pictures that you just took with our photos, right? And then we add in a couple of aerial video shots to it. And then we send it to an editor, and the editor puts the whole thing together. And we sell this for, you know, $500 to $1,000. But I like to be conservative, so let's go on the low end and just say you're only selling these for $500. So if you did 3 of these per week, not a day, but if you only did 3 of these a week, how much would that be a year? Who's good at math? You figure that out. $500, so that's going to be times 3, that's $1,500 a week. And you do that for the whole year. How much is that going to be? There we go, John got it. I love it. $78,000 a year. What if you did 5 per week? You did 5 per week, you're looking at $130,000. And if you did 10 per week, not per day, per week, you're looking at over $250,000 on just the videos. And again, we have people that are doing 10, 12, 14 of these every single week. You've got your photo shoot, and then we've got our video, our hybrid video. Remember, these are each little, not even divisions, because we're still all under real estate for these 2. This is just an upsell that a lot of realtors will pay for. Okay, so then let's take a look at mapping, like whether this is for a park, recreation, or a farm, or a golf course, or something like that. So we typically charge $1,000 a month, and that would be up to 2 scans. Normally it's per scan. The way we typically do it for golf courses is we charge them $100 a hole, or if they commit to doing 12 or more in the year for the whole course, then we'll do it for $1,000 for all 18 holes. So basically almost half price for them. And most golf courses do about 18 to 24 a year is kind of what happens. In the beginning of the season, there's a whole lot more. They'll space it out a little bit more, and then pick it up if they're doing any renovation, or if they have some kind of event there or something, they'll pick it up. But the great thing about those are if they agree to do 18 a year and they only do 14, you still get paid for the 18. But let's take a look at this. So if you're going to scan a golf course, it's going to take you about 2 hours to actually fly it and scan the golf course. So if you're a solopreneur, you're a solo dronepreneur, and you're doing all this yourself, then that's going to really allow you to do 2 of these a day, which is going to limit you to 20 clients, right? That's what time is going to allow you to do. So 20 clients times $1,000 a month, you're looking at, what is it? There you go, Tony got it. $20,000 a month doing this stuff. And then you figure that out over a year, and that's almost $250,000 a year. So Albert says, what is mapping? So mapping, it encompasses a whole lot, but something as basic as this, you're essentially letting the AI fly. You're mapping over a golf course, and you're literally, the drone is picking a section and it's flying, and it's taking hundreds of pictures, a picture every couple seconds. What it does is it stitches all those pictures together, and the cool thing about this is it gives us a final rendered image where we can zoom out and see the entire golf course, like Google Earth kind of, but then we can zoom in with so much detail, we can literally see the cleat prints on the putting green. And then we can use different sensors, like NDVI imagery, and we can actually detect the plant health, the grass health, and monitor the moisture levels and fertilizer levels and all that stuff. If you're flying over corn, we can measure like the nitrogen output on corn. There's so much stuff that can be done, and there's advanced software programs that can analyze this stuff for us. Now, the software is not cheap, and it's complicated to use and all that stuff, but again, if your client's paying for this stuff, these are opportunities. And these are more advanced vertical markets, but I want to show you what's there, what you guys can move up to. So lots and lots of opportunity. Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure and click the button below to subscribe, and be sure and hit the thumbs up button. All right, for more free resources to help you build your drone business, visit thedroneboss.com in our resources section. To fast track your success, be sure to check out our 3-day live total immersion event at Drone Command Live. You can click somewhere around here or below in the description. All right, take care and fly safe.